the 2012 BMW 328i Series. It's a nice little four-door sedan. Base price on this one is $34,900. As configured, it's about $51,000, just shy of 51 actually. And as you can see, it does have the classic BMW look to it, while bringing a much modern facelift to the whole series. So let's go inside and see what's going on here. As you can see, that's nicely appointed cabin, nice two-tone taupe color and brown fake wood inlays. Get inside here and see what's going on. Push button start, of course. And you might notice that there is this little off button here. And what this off button allows you to do is disengage the computer's automatic sensing ability when you come to stop. What it does is it'll actually shut the motor down. So if you're doing a lot of stop and go traffic and you want to save an extra few ounces of gasoline there, you can go ahead and keep that engaged and not hit that to turn off, and then that'll enable that feature. That, of course, is closely tied in with these three different driving modes that you have with this button here. At the bottom you see there's an Eco Pro, and that's the Economy Pro, of course, and then there's a Comfort mode, which is the middle, and the Sport mode, which is my personal favorite, up there at the top. And of course, the Sport mode changes all the shifting patterns. It drives much more like a manual transmission, and it does a really nice job of holding the gears a long time. It's probably the best implementation I've seen so far of a sport type mode in any vehicle, so kudos to BMW on that one. This one does feature an 8-speed automatic transmission, and just like I had in the X3 last year, it is the same little control shifter here. All electronic, of course, and it does take a little bit of getting used to if you're not familiar with it. And it's kind of different to have a little parking brake button, or parking button rather, to put the transmission in park mode. So really easy to get used to, very intuitive once you do it a few times, and not that big of a deal. And I think overall BMW's design is very well implemented. One thing I'm not really a personal fan of is this fake wood finish here. I'm not really sure what they're going after. I think it actually kind of cheapens the car. Doesn't really help anything. I mean, it's clearly fake and it's really hard to touch. I don't know, not really feeling it. Of course, it does have a really nice display that's always up. There's no way to put that down, and I don't find it to be too distracting even while driving. I actually think it helps complement the actual flow of the dash, if you will. Does have the nice BMW round gauges and many of the same things that we've come to see in any BMW for decades now. And of course, it does have the real-time economy line now instead of a needle. However, it's all electronically lit up there, so still there. I actually like the implementation of it better now, and I think it's kind of neat to be able to see what you're doing in real time. Go ahead and shift to the different modes here, and as you'll see, this computer screen will change here. Here's Eco mode. Kind of gives you a little diagram there of what the car is doing. It's kind of different. And then there's the Comfort mode, which is dampens the suspension. Sport mode, which gives you the stiffest ride possible, but also the best cornering, best handling, that tightens up the steering the most. And finally, we got the Comfort mode here, which is more of a touring mode if you want a little bit softer ride and a little bit better fuel economy. It seems to engage the top end gears a lot sooner. And then, of course, we finally got the Eco mode, which is probably what most people are going to be using if they want to save fuel. This car actually doesn't do too bad. It's rated by the EPA at 23 in town and 33 around the freeway there. And of course, if you get the manual transmission, it goes up by a couple miles a gallon on each one respectively. Dual climate control, which is always a bonus. That does have dual heated seats here. I find the seats to be front passengers not as supportive as I would like. They seem to just kind of sit really low and don't really have a whole lot of support. There is adjustments in the driver's side for bolster and that kind of thing, but it just, I don't know, the seat's got a kind of a stiff feel to it, but it's not really supportive. I know that really sounds weird, but it doesn't do much for me. The onboard entertainment system does come courtesy here of Harman Kardon. BMW teamed up with them, and let me go into this. Of course, it does feature satellite radio. There's CD, obviously, and Bluetooth streaming audio. And if you have an iPod or an iPhone, there is built-in interfaces for those devices. You can see here it has built-in Apple interface, and of course there's the little dongle here for Apple interface, and you can actually pull this out if you just have a regular USB interface on your phone or a USB interface on whatever you want to plug in there. And of course there is an auxiliary audio in jack as well. So no storage in there. It's kind of funny because you expect, lifting this up and seeing the depth of that, there would be some level of storage there, but there's not. Rear passenger legroom is not too bad actually for a compact sedan. I don't feel incredibly cramped right now, and I do have the seat relatively far back as I can sit, and I'm 5'11", so it's not too bad. I've seen much worse. Of course, there's the Harman Kardon speaker system, and one thing I did want to point out, however, is the natural slope of the ceiling here, like I'm kind of hitting it with my hair right now, does make it kind of feel a little tight, maybe, I guess, from a height perspective for taller people, so that might be an issue. And of course, I'm not sure how much person I'm not sure rather what kind of person could actually sit here in the middle if you had two grown adults on each side. So that's pretty typical of most compact sedans. This does fold down. You got cup holders here that pop out, and of course there is a pass-through if you want to tote some skis or something through the trunk. And we'll go back to the trunk here in just a second. I wasn't joking when I said that this thing has a huge trunk, given its relative size of the car. It goes quite a ways in there. I would suspect you could at least hold 8 cases of wine back here, and that's always a good thing. And of course you can see there's the push down for the pass-through right there. So kudos to BMW on the cargo space. I think they did a really good job given the car's overall size. I'm going to give you a little bit of idea what this motor sounds like. Hope you can hear that on the video. It just really has a nice little roar to it when you get it up and going. Definitely a far cry from that little rattling sound it has at idle underneath the hood. I'll go through here real quick and get you an idea of what it sounds like off the line here. Really nice job on the exhaust notes that BMW did here. I mean, it really doesn't sound like a typical 4-cylinder engine. Again, it has a nice growl to it, very aggressive on the acceleration. One thing I did note, however, if you get a couple other passengers in here, the lower side of the torque from just being a 4-cylinder motor versus some of the V6s we've driven in cars comparable to its price range will start showing its limitation, and you can slow this thing down pretty quickly. But overall, again, I think it's a good fit. I think it's a good, nice compromise between fuel economy and performance, and I think you will enjoy this car immensely for what it does offer. And again, I can't wait to hear your thoughts. So thanks for tuning in.